Giorgia Meloni poses a threat to the stability of democracy in Europe. She seems to be the exact opposite of the kind of leader Italy needs. Italy has historically predicted other nations' crises, which threaten Europe. Eager to know more? Watch the video till the end. Viktor Orban, who just decimated Hungary's opposition and attained credibility by militarizing consensus, is Meloni's moral and financial influence. Although he gave the Hungarians a fleeting sense of safety, they paid a heavy price for it because of financial turmoil and the loss of their liberties. This month, the European Parliament determined that Hungary can no longer be viewed as a fully democratic country. Elections are held, but democratic principles and European values are routinely disregarded to the point where Hungary is becoming an electoral autocracy. Meloni has never shied away from working with Orban and his supporters to advance their shared objective of fortifying the European far right under the pretext of defending the natural family, Christian culture, and the social market economy. The two agree on socially conservative principles about immigration, LGBT rights, and abortion. Not even a new analysis from the financial watchdog of the Hungarian parliament, which cautioned that a rise in the number of women graduating from college and entering the workplace affects men, risks population growth, and damages the economy, made Meloni reconsider her loyalty to Orban. Additionally, her excitement for Hungary's economic policies, particularly its flat tax, exposes her cluelessness and should cause concern about a financial collapse in Italy under her leadership. We see what seems to be the true threat Giorgia Meloni poses in her support for individuals like Orban. By luring activists away from rival parties eager to join what was thought to be a winning bandwagon, Meloni's party has been successful in growing its voting base in Italy. This risky tactic has been successful, although it has involved the Brothers of Italy in debate and several active court inquiries into candidates' possible involvement in the fraud. However, Meloni seems to have been capable of resorting her reputation by ejecting lawbreakers and publicly separating herself from them. She only seems to have trouble abandoning politicians whose identities are rooted in far-right philosophy. That Meloni is a fascist is disputed. Although I don't believe it to be the most crucial aspect of her party's platform, it's nonetheless necessary to discuss. It's a straightforward game. Parties with ties to neo-fascist organizations have taken great pains to purge and cleanse their reputation and declare their rejection of racism, anti-Semitism, and the fascist past. In a recent interview for the campaign, she claimed that God, homeland, and family was not a fascist slogan, but rather a lovely expression of love. For her, God doesn't seem to stand for belief but instead for a certain strain of Catholicism enforced as the only religion deserving respect. The family has never been the cradle of attachment but rather of imposition, compulsion, and command, and the country's borders must be protected, using brutality if needed. Although Meloni's actual beliefs and objectives may not seem precisely the same, her statements sometimes have Mussolini-like overtones. In her hands, identification turns into a vehicle for spreading propaganda that divides the population into us and them, with they standing for LGBTQ+ populations, immigrants, or anyone who doesn't see representation for themselves in traditional systems. The implication is that they are the villains endangering the national identity. Since the beginning of time, totalitarianism has used such anxieties as leverage to persuade people to willingly sacrifice their liberties for the assurance of protection from an outside enemy. Meloni claims she has no ties to fascism, but it seems like she wants to keep the backing of the radical right's more moderate members who vote for her party to balance the scales against the left. Losing many of these voters would result from fully denouncing the party's fascist origins. Because of her vagueness rather than her overt allusions to fascism or the black-shirted squadristi, Meloni seems to be Italy's most threatening political leader. She has been outspoken in her opposition to Russia's occupation of Ukraine and favor of NATO and armed assistance to Kyiv. However, after Russia invaded Crimea in 2014, she was against penalties in that country. She also stated that Putin's Russia defends European ideals and Christian identity in her 2021 book I Am Georgia. Meloni has targeted migrants with her comments due to her vagueness. She has stoked Italians' anxieties, fabricated an enemy, and provided a scapegoat for the ineptitude and inefficiency of the government. So guys, that's pretty much of it. Are you in favor of Meloni or against her? Let us know in the comments. See you in our next video. Till then, take care.